I recently read someone posting on Substack that if you just fix the hardware in your computer, 95% of your software problems will also get fixed. And the remaining 5% will be easier to debug once you fix the hardware. He also advised to never try anything more complex without first turning the computer off and on. I have done that and it really works. Like that old Bajaj Chetak scooter in India, which magically started after you tilted it 45 degrees towards yourself. Anyways, when I read that hardware software thing on Substack, I thought, well, that's exactly how life and investing works. Most of us are always trying to fix the software. We look for new mental models, we look for new books, new frameworks, and new hacks. But what if the real problem is not in the software at all? What if the system's just running hot, low on energy, cluttered, and uncalibrated? Now, you cannot expect your brain to make wise decisions when the body it lives in is exhausted, is over caffeinated, and under rested. I think you will agree with me that when you are tired, every small issue feels enormous and every thought feels urgent. And you may also agree that after a night of good sleep or a slow, quiet, long walk, suddenly everything feels more manageable. The market is the same, the world is the same. What has changed is your hardware. A rested body interprets the world differently from a restless one. In investing, I often talk about temperament being more important than intelligence. But temperament is not just mental, it's also physical. When your body is in the fight or flight mode, or when you are surrounded by news and noise, it's impossible to think long term. You crave comfort, you react, you look for escape, and that's what makes you make decisions in panic. It's not always lack of knowledge, but a nervous system that is overloaded. The same pattern repeats in life. We try to solve our emotional or psychological struggles by tweaking the software, by reading, by journaling and reflecting. And yes, those things really work, but only when the base system is stable. When you are underslept, when you are undernourished and constantly tense, your mind becomes like an old laptop with too many tabs open. It slows down, it overheats, and ultimately crashes. I believe sometimes the best thing you can do for your mental health is not more thinking, but shutting the lid, resting, and starting again. Some of the greatest thinkers have believed in this deeply. Leonardo da Vinci once said that the human foot is a masterpiece of engineering. And he treated the body as sacred machinery that must be maintained before any higher work could be done. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote that the mind must be given rest or it will break, reminding us that wisdom is impossible when the body is weary. Even Albert Einstein would take long walks by the lake in Princeton every day, saying it was during those walks that he did his best thinking, not while hunched over equations. Closer home, Swami Vivekananda emphasized physical strength before spirituality. And he once said, "You will be nearer to heaven through football than through the study of the Gita." He underlined that a strong body is the foundation of a strong mind. The yogic tradition itself, from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras to modern teachers like BKS Iyengar, was built on the idea that stability in posture and breath precedes clarity in thought. Even J. Krishnamurti, though deeply philosophical, spoke about being attentive to the body, its tensions, its fatigue, its rhythms, because awareness of the body was awareness of the mind. Now, all these voices across time and tradition point to one timeless truth, which is that physical well being is not separate from mental clarity, but its very root. You cannot meditate or create or decide well when your body is out of sync. Before you seek better answers in investing or in life, you must seek better rest, better rhythm, and better nourishment. Here, I think sleep is probably the most underrated investment anyone can make. It resets the system. It's like clearing the cache. I've tried this and it works. You wake up and suddenly you can see clearly again. The same decision that felt impossible last night feels obvious now. Exercise does the same. Movement unclogs energy. It brings back rhythm, flow, and circulation to your life. You don't even have to run marathons. Just move enough that your body remembers what being alive feels like. And food, real food, not the kind that spikes and crashes energy, it keeps your mind steady. The brain runs on what you feed it, literally. It works on the garbage in, garbage out philosophy. So, the key idea that I want to share with you today is that when you're struggling with clear thinking, whether in investing or in life, don't start with books or models or strategies. Start with your body. Ask simple questions like, did I sleep well? Did I move today? Did I eat something that actually nourished me? And did I spend a few quiet minutes without screens? Those questions sound too simple to matter, but they usually hold the key. It's because when your hardware is fine, the software almost runs itself. And it's funny how when people talk about great investors, they focus on what they read or how they analyze companies. But what really makes a difference is how they manage their energy and emotions. The ability to sit through chaos, to not overreact, to think clearly, that's biology as much as psychology. We made modern life far too complicated, but I think human systems are old and simple. They run on rest, they run on sunlight, food, movement, and meaningful work. Everything else is a bonus. The more we neglect these basics, the more we try to compensate with mental tricks and motivational talk. But no amount of mindset work can fix a body that's falling apart. So the next time you find yourself overthinking, stuck, or confused, just remember this little line: fix the hardware before the software. Take care of your sleep, your food, your body, and your breathing. Then come back to whatever problem you were trying to solve. You'll find most of it has already solved itself. And if nothing else works, do what you would do with any computer that's frozen. Just turn it off. Step away, go rest, go move, go breathe, then start again. After all, sometimes the wisest things we can do in markets, in life, and in everything is simply to reboot. Finally, if this idea resonated with you, if you found something here that made you pause and reflect, I would love for you to stick around. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss future episodes where we talk about simple but timeless ideas on money, investing, and living a grounded life. It's free and it supports the work I do. And more importantly, it helps us build a community of thoughtful people who are trying to play the long game in markets and in life. Thank you so much for your time.